Hello there! GPT 5.6 has just been released, and its flagship model called Sol is cheaper and more efficient than Claude Fable 5. Indeed, this sounds super promising, so let's take a completely empty Godot project, a full set of animations, and let GPT 5.6 assemble a complete game on its own. Today we are building Neon Reaper. You are a cyborg with a sword fighting endless waves of robots. You level up your equipment and even defeat bosses. This is not meant to be a small prototype. The idea is to create a finished and polished game that does not feel like AI slop. Let's see how far we can push this workflow together. So the first thing that I've done is remove the background of some icons and some images that I generated to use in my game. As you can see, all of them match the exact same neon style, glow style, whatever it is. I think they all look very cool and awesome for the game. Well, basically this is the aesthetic that I want my game to actually have. Once again, take a look at how here I was the one defining the game vision, okay? I was the one that said, okay, I do want to create a game that has this style in specific and not any other kind of style. I am the one who validated these images. I'm the one who had to remove manually the background of these images, import them into Godot, see how they look, etc. So once again, the AI in this case was just a copilot for me, but I'm still the pilot of this game. And well, once that all my images were 100% clean, the other thing that I did was setting up some base scenes that then GPT Sol was gonna be using. So for example, I set up the different enemy scenes with an area 2D and also their animated sprites. So I started loading in the different animations that they're gonna be having, basically their own sprite sheets. So once again, I thought that for this game it could be cool to include some kind of like robots in general and different types of cyborgs. We have some robots that attack short range, okay, and there are other robots that will, for example, shoot a bullet, a projectile, or something like that. We will even have two bosses, okay, that will look very awesome, I believe, then in the game. And well, over here I had to set up the loops of the animations, the frames per second that every single animation was gonna have in order for them to actually feel good. And these are things that the AI itself currently cannot really do. It doesn't have the taste to know, for example, at how many frames per second an animation should be playing in order to feel smooth. So well, I wanted to help GPT a little bit, because if not, this would be a complete disaster. And well, talking about the animations that the game currently has, for them I use God mode, and as you can see, you can basically upload a character and animate it. The cool thing is that they have a huge animation library, so literally you can add them to your character with one click. You just go ahead, select it, scroll down, take a look at the massive number of animations that they have, click all repos and generate animation, and it's gonna be done. So here, for example, you can quickly see like all the iteration that I had to do in order to get my characters. So once again, everything starts like from a concept image here to animate your characters. And to do that, I created this giant MD file with every single asset that I wanted to have in my game. I gave it to Codex, and as you can see, it basically created all the files, even, okay, organized in folders. So for example, take a look at the amazing characters that GPT has been able to generate. They look awesome. And once again, they look consistent. They follow the same style, even a super complete icon pack. For example, I don't know, take a look at this one or this other one. They just look awesome. So then here in God mode, you just upload your image, select either isometric, side scrolling, or top-down animations. In this case, side scrolling, browse through their super complete library and click on any of them. For example, run holding a sword, scroll down. In this case, we want to enable looping and click auto repos and generate animation. Here's the auto repos image. In this case, looks awesome. So let's scroll down, and click continue, and as simple as that you will have your animation. You can edit it, regenerate it, or even improve the looping of it with literally one click. Then it's just a matter of repeating this process with every single character. Then what we will need to do is go over here and select transparent background so that we can remove it. In this case, I recommend you use this model because it's able to remove it very well. So here's our clean animation, and over here we can download the clean sprite sheet. So you can right click, save image as, and here it is, 100% ready to be imported inside Godot. So well, here you can take a look at the different scenes, okay, that I had already set up. For example, this is one of the bosses. As you can see, it looks very awesome. Here is the player, for example, so we have all the different animations. This is another enemy. So for example, the only thing you need to do is add an animated sprite, create a new animation, use this button to add frames from a sprite sheet, select the sprite sheet you've just downloaded from God mode, and lastly, select how many vertical and horizontal frames you have. Let's deselect the ones that are empty, add them, increase frames per second, maybe something like 15 in this case, hit play, and as simple as that, there it is. Another thing that I installed completely for free from the asset store is called Zenva, and well, this just basically allows GPT to interact way better with the Godot editor itself. So I'm just using the MCP here, or using it as an MCP, I mean. More stuff that I have over here is a docs folder that I created with the brief of the game, and also a full GDD about the game that, as you can see, is very complete and once again has all the details about the exact game that I want GPT to be able to create. Now here I am in the new Codex app inside of my Godot project, and over here I'm gonna select the 5.6 Sol model in effort high in this case, for example, and standard speed is gonna be just fine. I'm gonna paste in the prompt that will basically tell GPT to read the docs folder that I just showed you, that it should use this MCP, and well, more technical details that it may need. I've created this 12-page PDF, once again with even more details about the specific game that I want to create, and I'm going to attach it along some concept images that I think that look very awesome. I've just taken a screenshot of my current usage. As you can see, it's 100% left in both the 5-hour limit and the weekly limit. And well, currently my plan is the Pro 5X that, as you can see, costs $100 a month. So let's see if it's worth it. And well, very quickly, the three new models are Sol, Terra, and Luna. So basically, Sol is the most capable model out of the three. Then Terra has a balanced power, speed, and cost. And Luna is the fastest and most affordable. So of course, Sol is the most expensive one and the most capable out of the three. And as a result, we could kind of say that Sol is, let's say, kind of similar to Fable or Opus in cloud, Terra, Sonnet, and Luna, Haiku, just so that we can frame these three new models a little bit better. Let's wait and see what it's able to create. Okay, so here it has finished, and well, I actually had to iterate quite a lot on the result, and actually switched MCP in the middle of this. Like initially, as I mentioned, we were using Zenva, but I don't know why, like GPT was not able to use it correctly, or I don't know what really happened. So I installed another one, 100% free, Godot AI, directly here from the App Store, you can get it. So well, here we do have the game. And well, we are here, okay. It has sound effects, so I'm just gonna mute everything. And well, we kind of have everything, but I don't know. I was not expecting this. Like, it does not feel finished. It does not feel polished. I don't know why the player has a super weird shader on top. The environment also does not look that good. Like, these things are just flying around. There are 100 enemies that, of course, I cannot kill. This red overlay does not look okay at all. So I don't know really what to tell you. Like, the integration with Godot, it seems that it's not really like the best one. Because, well, we do have like a custom UI. So we did use the assets and I do see the enemies and all that, but this doesn't feel like something made by the latest GPT model, you know? And once again, I iterated a lot on the results. I was guiding it a lot, like, okay, this doesn't look good. This is not like a good environment. And like, it is a pity for me. Because the animations themselves, like, take a look at these robots with the swords and their attack animations and the attack animation that the player has, like, they look awesome. Or for example, this other guy over here that can shoot at me, the animations themselves look awesome. But what ChatGPT did, it's not good, it's not good. And this wasn't cheap, guys. This was the before and this was the after. So it went from 100% left to, for example, the 5-hour usage limit went to just 24%. And remember, I used the most capable GPT model. So I'm sure this has something to do either with the MCPs or, okay, with Sol itself that, I don't know, does not know how to use Godot. This really didn't happen to me before, but when I did try to use other GPT models like GPT 5.5 in Godot, they didn't tend to work. Okay, so I feel that they are missing something with Godot itself. So for example here, it's worked for something like 1 hour and a half, okay, using Zenva, and it did use the MCP and all the tools that the MCP itself provides. It was playing, validating everything. But I don't know, I feel like GPT does not have integration with Godot, or I'm not really sure. And here's when I actually switched to Godot AI, okay? And maybe the visual part was a little bit better because I know here it could take indeed some screenshots, as you can see, but it's still not good. And also this was advertised as a cheap alternative to Fable, and even better than Fable. And well, here people have been doing stuff, and take a look at, for example, here, what Fable did and what GPT 5.6 Sol did. This looks way better, more finished. For example, it seems like GPT 5.6 Sol is using my 5-hour codex limit much faster than GPT 5.5, despite it being more token efficient. And more people saying the exact same thing here. I do want to make this game a reality and to make it look good. And I also want to see if Fable, like, would be able to actually do this. So I just told it improve the game, the visual part mainly, like it does not feel like a finished game. And well, here it started working. As you can see, I'm using Fable 5 in high, and well, my limits, as you can see, recently reset. So let's see how much this consumes and if it's actually able to make something a little bit better. Because I don't know, I don't think this game that I wanted to create was that complicated. And remember, I already provided a complete GDD, like a lot of information about what exactly it needed to do. I even set up enemy scenes, animated sprites, like let's say I did a lot. So well, we will see. Okay, so it's been something like 45 minutes. And well, as you can see, it didn't use that much. I understand I'm part of the max 20x plan right here, so it's $200, but still like very optimized. Just 3% of the weekly limit of Fable, just 2% of the weekly of all models, and just 9% of the 5-hour limit. So actually it's been like cheaper. Okay, so I definitely start to see some improvements, at last, sorry. Let's see if we are able to find this part over here. Yeah, because this banner is not correct. Like, this is the original size, and here is like super bad stretched. Yes, because here in our size, this shouldn't be like this. Come on. Yes, AI still sucks for UI designing, game development, I think. So yeah, just something like this, and like this, and like this, and maybe this up a little bit, down. Yeah, there it is, like way better. But yeah, come on, looks way better now. Yeah, come on, take a look at this. This is what I'm talking about. Wow, okay, let's try this. Okay, Arc Bolt. Wow, this auto attacks, and take a look at the effect. Wow. Yeah, come on. And it's way more balanced. Like before, I couldn't even play. That's so good, and I believe that with the right click, I have like an special attack. Okay, I wasn't able to see it. So I don't know. Wow, yeah, way better. Once again, it could be improved by me. Yes, for sure. But this looks way more like an actual game made by a good AI model, you know? Like, I don't know why that gem is super big, but that is probably super easy to fix. And take a look at that auto attack that I have. So once again, this is the idea of the game, that I have like automatic attacks and also attacks that I have to do manually. Like here, I have to come here to close to this guy and actually shoot at the guy, or like use my sword. And well, as you can see, my HP is super low. So the idea is that supposedly when I lose, okay, is that I can upgrade my vault or reinitialize the game. So upgrade vault, oh well, here, yes, this UI does not look that good, but it is functional, so I could like buy any of these upgrades, and once again, looks better. Once again, AI nowadays is not very good at UI design, but this is something that, as I've showed you, it's very easy to tweak. The important thing that AI has to do is the feel itself, that the game feels complete, that more or less look okay. You can tweak the rest, of course. AI, it's not gonna do everything, but take a look at everything else. Come on, looks gorgeous, man. Looks gorgeous. Wow. Now I'm shooting like 2 of these things at the same time. Okay. Come on, yeah, looks good. Yeah, so I don't know what happened to GPT, like, I don't know what to tell you. Once again, here, Fable, we literally just one prompt was able to make something way better, less time, cheaper. Okay, here seems that we have a boss or something like that. Oh, we have a chest or something like that. Okay, let's try to get it. Okay, another gem, that's cool, that's super cool. I can even like pause the game and I have a simple UI. So just to try to fix it, I'm gonna take a screenshot of this and just tell you that these gems have like this huge problem. I'm probably gonna be able to fix it right away. And there it is, okay. Now when I kill an enemy, let's try to see it better. There it is, as you can see. There is like no giant gem or anything like that. So that's super cool, super cool. Yeah, I love it, I love it. And for example here, if I wanted to modify the shop UI, that's probably something that looks very, very bad. I can go over here, I don't know, do I want to modify this text? I can do it. I don't know, the width of these things don't look okay, because take a look at the original sprite and this is how it looks like. So over here, we should, well, in this case, increase this width, I believe, for example. And well, I don't know, modify the custom minimum size here. And well, little by little, okay, start improving this, but well, you get the idea that you can actually modify this. So yeah, I think this is all. So okay, this is all for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you want to start generating animations as the ones that I used for this game, make sure to start using God mode. You'll have a link to it in the description down below. See you and bye bye.